Alright guys, are you ready for the shortest and most complete guide you've ever seen? Well, first, let's talk about the options you have to use. So you really need to pick this one. I'll put my game in English instead because it will be easier for you. So let's see. Well, ground targeting. So ground targeting must be instant first. That's very important. Then you will need to have this one, lock ground target at maximum skill range. It's really important to have it checked. What do you need also? Oh yeah, you really need to make sure you have a boss auto attack on your spam one. So if it's not already on auto attack, you have to press Ctrl and left click, so it will put auto attack on boss set. And then the last thing I think I really recommend you to have is a bind to look behind you. So for example, like this, I can look behind me, and you will see that on this class it's really important to have this. Also, I will split this guide into two parts. So the first part will be about basic important things you really got to know. I'll also give you 3 big steps you will have to train on if you want to be decent at this class, like very fast. And then after that, on the second part, I will be talking a lot more about very advanced stuff, techniques, strategies that you can apply to your gameplay at very high level. So we can start this guide right now, I think. Alright, so first let's talk about more general things you really get to know. So Specter is a class that cannot tank that much. I mean, it doesn't have blocks, invul, or a ton of dodges like Daredevil, for example. And your F1 is also not that good compared to normative. So what you want to do is to really use well your kiting and your positioning with Sword 2. So use well your mobility. And to survive, also you really have to keep in mind that shadowstep is your only breakstone on this build. So you want to keep it for when you really need it. So force yourself to not press it whenever you just get CC and not much is happening. Also, what I wanted to say is on this build, on the traits, I don't think that any traits are really swappable on this build, but except the last one of Spectre trait line, it depends. So the protection trait and AoE support when you're using shroud skills around the linked ally is really good sometimes, even if you don't have that much ally around you. I think it's really good because you have protection and shroud can disappear really fast. So if you want to burst a lot of targets, or if you have like a group of friends with you, this one is really good. But if you go for more roaming solo style, I highly recommend you to still play the cleanse trait. Also, you have to keep in mind that when you take some risk and you try to burst people, you really need stab, especially when you go in shroud and you're in melee range in shroud. You will need to have the stab. Alright, so now if you're asking yourself which weapon set should I play, depending on the situation, it's quite simple. So kinda always you want to start with sword dagger most of the time, so to get in, for example. Sword dagger, you have to keep in mind that it's your mobility set, because you can't go back and kite away with 2 swords. And also it's the best weapon set to get life force back because of the port and the sword 2. Dagger, so DP will be way different, so you will lose your kiting mobility with dagger pistol, especially on Spectre. It can be hard to survive with it if you're not in stealth. So this weapon set will be when you want actually to get in stealth. So you can combo with your shroud, for example. But also it's a very good weapon set if you want to chase down people after you get in with your sword dagger. So if the guy is getting away, you can try to chase him with 3 dagger pistol. Keep in mind that it's a projectile and it costs a lot. 5 units is a lot for Spectre, and if you miss the projectile, it will do nothing. So I think one thing I prefer to do, and it's safer, I would say, is if possible, if the guy is very low, like under 50% or 25% HP, you can use well to go toward him and use 2 dagger to instead finish him off. You can spam it a bit with quickness. Actually, it's a very good pressure tool. So to really make it simple, sword dagger will be your set to get some life force back, and dagger pistol will be the set that will use the life force because you need it to combo and go into stealth. Okay, so now it's time to talk about the 3 steps to be decent at playing Spectre. So first step is really important to know, because each time you're using a well, when you port into the 600 range location, the well will appear 0.5 seconds after you actually ported. So even on wells that does damage, the damage doesn't appear instantly when you port. So you can use this to, well, first you have to cast your well just after your character just has ported. You press, for example, so let's start with 2 swords. You press a well, and when your character ports, you press 2 swords. So it's important to notice that where I was aiming the well on the ground at 600 range, my 2 sword back will appear there. So it's really important to know that, because classic sword dagger thief cannot choose where they want their sword 2 back to be. But Spectre is very special for that. So for example, right here, I hope there is not a no port error here, but we'll try. So there is an obstacle here, there is an enemy here. What you want, like in general, will be, if you're here, for example, if I want to engage the enemy with a well plus 2 sword, it will be to first aim your well behind the obstacle if the other guy is in 900 range, because sword 2 is 900 range max. So you aim behind the obstacle, and then you press sword 2. And okay, so it's also something that happens a lot on Spectre. So you have to know all the no valid pass era. So good luck with that. I should maybe make a map someday of all the no valid pass era in World vs World. That would take me a lot of time, but who knows if I do it someday. But yeah, so instead I will let's see. So maybe, I don't know if I can port here actually. So I will try. So I can do this here. Okay, so we can. And for example, right here is good, because even if it's not an obstacle, you can go back to the location and then kite way easier. So that's why it's very important, because you will need. So first, the first thing you need to do to train on this is to just you don't try to put your well behind something or in the best location you want. First, just try to press your 2 sword just after you see your character ported with the well to get the timing. When you get the timing, then you can try to, while moving for example, you can try to select where you want your well and your sword to back to be. And it's also really important that in theory, you want to aim your well at around 900 range max from the enemy, because as I said, sword 2 is 900 range. So, for example, like if I'm aiming my well here and I want to target this guy, I would want to aim around here, because if I, for example, if I aim around here my well, you will see that no valid pass. Yeah, okay, it's already around here. But if I aim here, for example, it's really too far away. You will see, yeah, I won't reach the enemy. So the second thing you really want to do after you get the timing with the sword 2 is to try to aim your well at around 900 range from the enemy. So you will be able to kite after when you come back with your sword 2. So your sword 2 won't be like this. Don't do that, for example. Never do that. Try to aim your well and then do this, and you see your sword 2 is very close, and when you go back it won't help you at all to kite away. So don't do that unless you want to really chase people down, for example. If you know that the guy is gonna get ganked, for example, and you just want to continue the pressure, then yes, you can do this, but it's the only time it's useful to do it. So to finish with this first step you have to go through, keep in mind that when you are using wells, it's also important to know how to time your backstab. So for example, right now I'm in stealth, right? And I want to backstab this guy, so I can use the well, and at the moment I'm porting, I press, instead of pressing 2 sword like I did before, after using my well, after my character ported, I pressed the backstab. And even if the well is doing damage on the first tick, your backstab is getting cast before the well is actually hitting people. So it's really important to get the timing, and also that's why I told you first to put instant ground targeting, because I will try to show you a clip in a few seconds, but to illustrate what I mean. But if the guy is moving, actually you can move at the last second of the cast. The cast is lasting for 3/4 second, but if you have this option, at the last second, if the guy, for example, is porting, is dodging or doing something, you can just move your cursor very fast at the end, and if you're good enough, you will be able to backstab him at the last moment. I found the clip I wanted to show you. So on this clip you will see that I'm casting my 5 shroud, the 2, and then I go in stealth, right? And I want to burst this wheelbender. So the thing is, right now I F1 him because I wanted to stun him, but it's a sequence I will explain way better during the more advanced part of the video. But the thing is, just after I stole him, he's dodging away with his F2. And as you can see, I was casting right now, just after I got in stealth, I was already casting my red well shroud, my red well to do damage. And the thing is, as I was casting, I'm almost at the end of the cast, I moved the mouse almost at the end. And you can see that because I moved the mouse during the last quarter of the cast, I was able to reach him and actually backstab him before the red well is actually doing damage. So the backstab plus the red well plus the stun, as you can see, because I removed this tab just before. The stun now is CCing him, and then it's really easy to just finish him off with weakness and 2 dagger. But yeah, that was to just show you how important it was to play this targeting with the mouse. Alright, so now it's time to talk about the second step. So second step will consist of just being able to get in stealth the most safely possible, and also to be able to know in which weapon you're currently in each time you go in shroud. I will explain why. So the first error people are doing when they starting Spectre in general is to they drop a smoke, for example, and then they do 2 and 3. And the issue doing that, as you see, I was revealed, because if an enemy, for example, I did it in middle of the enemy, but for example, if an enemy is coming toward you and you didn't see him coming, if you do that, you will get revealed for like, no, it's 4 seconds, and you will be most of the time in trouble because you wanted to kite away and be safe. So when you're in trouble in general, what you want to do is to drop a smoke, then you press 2 very fast, you dodge toward the side of the smoke, and then after that you press 3. And then you can stay in shroud, for example, and see, you still have 2, and then you can leave shroud and put a smoke to blast it after. So it's also really important to be able to, when you're in shroud, for example, right now, you've used a lot of skill and shit like that, and now you can drop 2 shroud and then put a smoke, and then you will get in stealth, and then you can have a longer stealth if you use 2 dagger. So it's really important to know each time you go in shroud in which weapon set you wear when you enter the shroud, because it's really important to not do a 5 dagger instead of smoke when you drop the 2 at the end. So you have to train yourself also when you're, for example, you engage in dagger, you go in, you do this, and then, for example, you want to fast blast a smoke, you can do 2, leave shroud, and then you have to weapon swap. As you can see, I swapped the weapon just before using the 5 skill to blast the smoke. You have the time, but timing at first can be a bit tricky, so you got to train on this and remember on which weapon set you are. Also, I forgot to tell you, but you have to be careful about something. If you are at a more than 600 range from the enemy you're targeting, if you're targeting an enemy, when you want to stealth yourself, if you drop the shroud and then drop the smoke after, the issue will be, you see, yeah, I was too close, so that's fine, because if you're too far away, the projectile will actually reveal you. So I will show again. If you are at like max range, almost max range. See? So the issue, I did it right, but the projectile, the travel distance of the projectile hit the enemy too late, and then it reveals you because it does damage. So the safest things to do when you plan to do a 2 shroud and then leave it to blast a smoke will be to about face. If you are at more than 600 range, don't hesitate to just do this instead. So you go in shroud and then you go 2 and then you do this. You do about face instead. Also, if you wonder how to get maximum stealth duration when you're out of combat, for example, or very far away from enemies and you want to get in stealth in World vs World, you can do this, drop a smoke, 2, 2, and then you go 2 and 3, and then 2 again before the smoke disappear. and you see that you will have at the end you have like 11 seconds I think, or 10. So it's not bad because you see you recover all your initiative and everything. Alright guys, so now let's talk about the third and last step. So this one is all about how to burst people with 2 simple bursts, I would say. So on this video I play not really well, to be honest, but I do just very simple things. So you will see that I just go in after I get the stab. I failed the first engage, but that's not very important for what I'm saying. And then I'm using 5 dagger and then 1 dagger. And after you do that, you want to go in shroud. And because you play hydromancy sigil and air sigil, both will proc and you will do a good amount of burst damage on a single target like this. But here, right now, it's a necro that is kinda tanky with the shroud, so I'm going back. And just after I was going back, I was looking at the ranger. I was expecting him to trying to bump me, so as I didn't have dodges, I was planning to use my 3 sword to dodge. But I don't know what he's doing. He's going back to hammer for some reason. I don't know. So I decided to still focus him after, so I use a well after that. It's very simple. I just use a well, I do 2 swords like I told you in the first step of the video. And then after that I use 5 dagger and then 1, and then I just press 1 because I didn't even need to go in shroud. So after this, it's really important. It's the burst you really get to know on when you use, each time you use GW2 you want to cast GW2 somewhere at around 900 range if possible. You press 2 sword to going in, and then you instantly, after the 2 sword hit, you get him up, you want to go in shroud instantly after the mob procced, and then you go for, usually you go for 2 shroud, 4 shroud. It's your burst, like 2 shroud and 4 shroud right after, when people are CC in the GW2 is the best burst you can do, and it's AoE, so it's really good. But since I didn't have stab and I expected him to CC me with something, I did 2, 5 and 4. So 5 it was for to get the stab quite fast, because I already used my my stab well before using the gravity. So I'm doing this. I use, as you can see, I used the 3 shroud to get the barrier on the dawn, so I can CC, both CC and get some barrier, so I can tank a little bit. Then I'm trying to use once again 5 dagger on him. I go away because he had shroud, and I saw that people were coming, so I just go out a little bit. And then it's very simple. So I do a simple thing once again. I just first I steal him, and then right after that I will cast my stab well, and I use camera behind. So I'm both using about face and camera behind to aim my well away from, because people were coming the other way, so I wanted my well to be this way. And then I came back pressing 2 sword like always, and then I do so you can see right after this I do 5 and 1 again, 5 and 1, that is interrupting him. And as you can see, if he wasn't this low, and I didn't think I could kill him easily just by using spam 1, instantly I should have used my shroud, so Hydro Sigil will have procced, and then I would have used instantly 4 shroud, because it's a good burst. So, but right now I just have to press 1, Right here I messed up a bit because I wanted to stealth, but yeah, it's still fine. And then I finish both of them. Also, there is another simple burst that you got to remember. So when you are very low initiative and you still want to engage with the well, you can use instantly after the mob the 4 shroud to get a burst, and then you can go away, and it will refill a bit also of your initiative in general, because of this straight line. Also it should proc, so you will recover also 3 initiative. Alright guys, we've finally reached the second part of the video. So in this section I will talk a lot more about advanced gameplay techniques I found. So let's get started. First I will talk about the usage of the shadowstep. So there are 2 ways I found to use shadowstep like differently outside of just stun break, classic stun break. So the first use I found, in this clip I'm using shroud 5 first, and as you can see I'm very far away from the enemy that I targeted. So I cast my shroud 5, so it will stun in 3 seconds. After that I'm casting my red well from more than 2k range away, so it's quite far away. And normally if I use my red well from there and press the 2 sword, I wouldn't reach the enemy. So what you're gonna do is when you port with the well, instead of pressing 2 sword, you will press shadowstep first and instantly press 2 sword. So it will blink twice, and as you can see I can reach the enemy. And the cool thing is, so if you want to time with the stun of the shroud 3, keep in mind that when I use the 5 shroud, I'm waiting, so there is a visual information. When you see that the purple aura is disappearing, you start casting the red well, and the stun will appear at the right time when you port in. So as you can see, it disappeared, then I casted the red well and I did what I said, so shadow step and 2 sword, and after that you can just burst the enemy. Okay, so now let's talk about the other way you can use your shadow step differently. So it's something I was using a lot when I was on support Specter build, but it's also super useful when you are on the power build, so I'm just gonna show you how to do it. So when you have an ally that is in trouble, like for example right now I've got Holo with me, and as you can see he's gonna get CC, right? So now he's getting CC by the Necro, and there are a lot of people that gonna focus him, so I wanted to help. So to help someone very far away, you can just left click on him when you see he's in trouble, and then I have him targeted, right? And then I go in shroud. So you just need shroud not on cooldown to do this, because the first thing you're gonna do is you will use your 5 shroud, and since you targeted him, after the 5 shroud cast will end, he will receive 3 stack of stab, U2. And instantly after the 5 shroud, you use the 2 shroud, the closest you can to him. So 2 shroud appear, right? I'm gonna leave shroud instantly after you finish the cast. And it's also really important, so in this video I'm showing that you can actually weapon swap if you're not on the set with the smoke field on. But it's really important, so you have to keep in mind on which set you need to blast it with the smoke. So I swap weapon instantly after I left the shroud, and then after that I'm pressing 5 smoke and the shadow step where I dropped the 2 shroud. So at the same time I'm pressing the 5 smoke and the shadow step, and as you can see I'm porting right here, and I'm casting right now my 5 smoke because it takes a bit of time. And then as you can see, your friend will get the blast from the 2 shroud with the smoke, and also some barrier because of that. Okay, so now let's change topic, and I'm gonna talk about how to time perfectly your 5 shroud stun, and doing a specific sequence so you can burst people when the stun just appear. So in fighting games there is something that you call frame kill in general. So it's really simple that it's something that you can apply to Guild Wars 2. So when you are doing a sequence of skills that you know are working, so if you do a specific sequence with no gap between each skill you are using, if you do it perfectly, then you won't have to time it to time the stun manually, and then the stun will appear exactly at the right time you want. So I'm gonna show it right now. So if, for example, I want to burst this Revenant, so I'm using stab well to engage because I want stab, right? So I'm engaging with sword 2, and then this combo is quite simple. So you want, after sword 2, you want to use sword 3. So I will show you. Yeah, I'm using sword 3 directly, and you want to hit something. So if there are a lot of enemies, it's even easier because you want to get the second skill of sword 3 for a few seconds later, you will see. So I'm getting the sword 3 hit, and then so I'm dodging. So basically there is also something that you can do. When you hit sword 3, there is a time, there is an aftercast, I would say, and you can get hit. But if you want to dodge like instantly when it hits people, you can go in shroud and instantly dodge at the same time. That's what I'm doing. So Hydromancy Sigil blasted, it does some damage, and then I'm dodging instantly. I'm not stuck in the sword 3 animation because of that. And then what you want to use is 5 shroud, and after 5 shroud I know that I have the time to do this. So after 5 shroud you drop a 2 shroud, you leave shroud, and then you're going back with your sword 2. And now instantly, like you don't have to, without any gap, you cast your red well now. So you start casting the red well, and then I use red well plus sword 2 again to port in again. And when I port again, as you can see, I immob the enemy, and while I'm immobbing the enemy and using the second skill of 3 sword, you will see that right now the Shroud 5 is stunning him, and it blinds him also at the same time because I'm in specific AoE, a blast finisher. But as you can see, so I'm using sword 3, at the same time he's stunned, and then I'm using 5 dagger instantly. And after the 5 dagger, so someone gave him stab, but it's not really important. And then I'm using the stealth attack after the 5 dagger as always, so I can finish him. It's a really good burst to do these 3 skills. when you come back, plus the red well is doing damage also each second. And then you can just like come back with the sword too and get yourself in a safe spot. So right now I want to focus the ranger. So I'm doing the same, right? I'm using stab well, going in, and then instantly using sword 3. The sword 3 is hitting people, so I will get the second hit of the sword 3, and then instead of waiting for the aftercast so I can be hit and I can be hit like for like 1/4 second or more, I think, I don't know how much time exactly it is, but I cancel the aftercast by going in shroud instantly and dodging, right? And then I'm doing the exact same, so I'm using instantly shroud 5 to have the stun in 3 seconds. And after that, I'm using shroud 2, like previously, on the enemy if possible. If you can aim it right, it's good. Then you leave shroud, you come back with sword 2 instantly, with no gap, because you want your shroud 5 to stun the enemy when you will come back to him. Also, it's great to know that you, if you are very fast and you are, if you want to really optimize this combo, as you can see, the ranger at the stab, and you have time to also, you can do 5, 2, and use F1. You will see I will use F1 right now. Just after I dropped the 2 shroud, I use F1, right? And after that, I'm coming back to my original position, and also you can see that he has no stab anymore because I used F1. And then now he has no stab and he thinks he is safe. I'm using the red well with no gap, right? And right now I should have stunned him, right? Because it also blast and blind arrow him. But as you can see, he dodged, so it didn't really work, but I still continue. So I'm using, as I told you before, the second hit of 3 sword, and then 5 and the stealth attack. So like this, and it still do a good amount of damage. But yeah, if he was stunned in the red well, he would probably have died, or maybe he would have used invul before. But yeah, you can see how to do it, and then you can just like come back and be safe, right? And even sometimes you want to, if you don't want to use, for example, your shadowstep to be even further away from the enemy, you can try to target an ambient creature if you see there is one, or an enemy. So you can use sword 2 to go further away instead of using the shadow step, and you can keep it for later when you really need it. So now I'm gonna show you a different sequence using the Shroud 5 stun timing. So on this clip, I want to focus this ranger, right? But this time this sequence won't be only on SD like the previous one. You will swap to DP for this one. So as you can see, I'm getting out of stealth right now. So I just engage the enemy right now, and I do a 4 shroud before because I wanted to do some damage first. But yeah, it's not something that you must do, like you're not forced to do it. But that's what's following that is interesting to know. So I'm using the 5 shroud to get the stab and the stun in 3 seconds, right? So right after, if you see that the enemy is still very close to you, you can use the 2 shroud on him, but you're still in the range of it. So as you can see, my 2 shroud appear here on the enemy, and I'm very close. So when you're doing that, you can instantly leave shroud, weapon swap, and then you can press instantly 5 shroud to blast your smoke like usual, right? So the guy will think, yeah, he dodged the 2 shroud because it was an AoE, a damage AoE. But what I really wanted was to getting in stealth, right, at the same time. So I made him use 1 dodge and I'm getting in stealth. And instantly after you pressed, so after you pressed the 5 smoke, you instantly press F1. So as you can see, he had Doliac stance, right? Because he was getting focused and in trouble and he dodged away. So I want first to remove his stab, so you do 5 smoke, F1. So it will remove his stab, right? As you can see, right? He has no stab anymore because I used F1. And then right after F1 is over, you cast your red well trying to aim behind him, if possible without moving your character, so your character will turn by himself when you want to backstab him. So you try to aim at him behind. So I'm just behind him right now. I don't move my character when I port behind him. And then I press the backstab. So I backstab him. But as you can see, he's getting so the stun appear of the 5 shroud and he's getting backstab at the same time. But he still has the Doliac stance, so that's why he's tanking so much, because he has Doliac stance, and even if I removed his protection, he's getting protection back. But as you can see, I backstab him. He's still stunned though, even if he has the damage reduction of Doliac stance. And then I'm using a spam 2 times during the stun. So as you can see, it's enough with this and the red well damage to still kill him even if he has Doliac stance. And then I try to CC a bit people around and kite a bit. So I kite a bit and try to avoid getting killed right after that. But I couldn't really finish him off, it was a bit too risky and I didn't want to use my shadowstep. But the good thing is, if you do that, you can still swap again weapon, and for like 3 or 4 seconds you still have your 2 sword back, so you can go back right after. I use my 2 sword and I'm safe. If, for example, you're getting focused or you're in trouble when you engage, there is also one sequence that you can do. So you can do this, for example. You can go doing something like this. So you want to burst the enemy first, for example, and then you can see that when you're in trouble, you can do that. So you can do this, dodge away, and then you can do this, dodge again, go back, and then you have time for your 5 shroud to blast the smoke, and then you can use 2 dagger. Here I was explaining, so my 2 sword range was not very good to kite away. Okay, so let's show you the same one, but a bit better this time. So you can do this. One more technique. So this one is about dagger pistol gameplay. So as I told you earlier, you can fast stealth with this, and it's kinda safe. And after that, when you reach 2 seconds here, you can use this, and then it will blast at the same time and use 2 dagger. So like this, you will have a very good time to stay in stealth, and then you can do this, dodge again, do this, and yeah. So it's very good to play safe if you're on dagger pistol, because you don't have much mobility. But that's not what I wanted to actually show you. So the tech itself is you start by doing a safe stealth like this, and then when it reach more than 1 second after, you do this and this. And as you can see, I just was revealed and visible. I mean, not revealed. And when I was visible, with this timing, you can drop a 2 shroud if you are on melee range with the enemy, and use a smoke again, and you won't be revealed if you do this. So this tech is really good to make the enemy think you will attack him with the 2 shroud when you're in melee range with him. But instead you will just restealth, so he might use his cooldown, so it's good for you. At the same time you will restealth safely, so that's why it's a very good technique. But also there is another variation of this. So this time instead of restealthing after this combo, you will see. So now I'm waiting I'm waiting more than 0 seconds on cooldown here to have a visual clue. So right after, as you can see, I waited like half a second more after it's not on cooldown. I'm using 5 and 2 on melee range with an enemy during stealth and in shroud. And then you dropped the 2, like last time I show you. 5 to get the stealth, and I was becoming visible the same frame I'm blasting the 2 shroud, so I won't get revealed, right? Like here, you see, I'm visible just before it blasts, actually, right now. So I was visible for like a few frames. It's very fast. It's kinda perfect timing with this visual technique. And then right after the 5 smoke, I press F1 because I want to remove the boons of the enemy before I backstab them. And then I'm using red well like last time I showed you, and behind him, and I backstab him.